Marcuzo in control here. He's in the white, going from left to right.
Look at it. It's a thing of beauty.
It's just how quickly he links them together. That's what's so impressive about it. Is like a lot of other players, obviously, you see them use the cricketer to buy themselves half a yard, but Marcuzo has this ability to quickly link 3 or 4 together, and you almost expect after one that the player's going to go the other way, but he takes a step forward, then another one, and it just throws you off.
And this is the goal that could have been the dagger. I mean, giving up a goal 5 minutes before the end of time, and there it is. Once you get in that spot, Ronaldo, first time finish, it's going to happen every single time, hit the back of the net.
I'm disappointed in my defender there. Van Dijk needs to stick out a leg to make a block there. I'm gutted he hasn't.
Yeah, and he's not a one-trick pony either, because he does rely a little bit.
بص يا سيدي البطولة ديت عبارة عن 64 واحد هيلعبوا كلهم في مجموعة واحدة. كل واحد هيلعب 7 مباريات بس. اللي هيكسب 4 هيتأهل الدور اللي بعده اللي هو ايه؟ دور ال 32. بس دور 32 64 قصدي 16 8 زي دوري الأبطال بالظبط. واللي هيكسب هياخد الكاس بتاع دوري الأبطال ده. هو شبه كاس دوري الأبطال العادي لسه مغيرين فيه شوية. وهياخد $100,000. البطولة على يومين، النهارده المجموعات وبكره دور 16 وانت طالع. هما دلوقتي هيعرضوا لنا مباراة ياسر الحارس. هو خسر المباراة الأولانية اهو 2-0 وفي العودة دي اللي شغالة.
I can lose a game situation. They're no longer in that.
Do you feel like they've taken some pressure off of themselves because they really just want to get into the top 8? Because that's where you're going to get the real special experience, and then from there you're playing with house money.
I wouldn't say so, because the fact that you've got to go now, treat every game as a knockout game, so that's, what, 7 games?
Yeah, it's a long way to the top.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to go undefeated now, for 7 games.
Especially when you've already lost 3. I think that what you get is, you look at a player like Marcuzo, you say to yourself, before you come here you go, chance there, good save. Is he the sort of player that will get top 8? You go, yeah, Marcuzo's a top 8 guy, more times than not. The only real question for me is who he faces. And if he comes up against, and even the Swiss format is seeded. So you shouldn't come up against, like, your first game should be someone you kind of deserve to play. Then you can get a bit unlucky from that point on. Like, if you lose your first game and someone amazing also loses their first game and you end up playing them, you feel a little bit hard done by. But that's the format. It is fair, I think.
Yeah. The only thing for me is that when I look at Marcuzo, I think he's a top 8 defensive player, and that's the difference. There's top 8, obviously offensive, he's there, he's got all the skills and stuff like that, but defensively, he's never shutouts and he doesn't hold on to victories.
I think it's a good point. It's much like when we see Houston play a lot of the time. It's like we see Marcuzo score a lot of goals, but it's very rare that you'll see that clean sheet being kept. As he's trying to dance through there with, surprise, surprise, a couple of cricketers. He almost found his way through, but I think it's a good point you make. But mistakes like that are going to make his life so much easier, and so is moving the goalkeeper out of the way.
That's a gift.
Yeah.
1-0 to Marcuzo.
تاني بس ما عرضوش اللي لعبوا. هو مساعد لحد دلوقتي لعب 4 ماتشات وكسبهم كلهم. كده هو تأهل لبكره خلاص.
We've got 2 quality defenders here sitting either side of us, Mark.
Yeah,
Scott and Jimmy.
You can't give up a ball in that area of the field.
And it's the old cliche, but defense wins the championship. You could be a regular top 8 appearance, like Austin as well. You could be someone that's always getting towards the end, but are you going to win the big ones if you can't defend that well? You're not.
Yeah, when you finally play against a player that has that type of quality that knows how to defend you, because then you don't have any answers defensively. You're just going to get...
all the big boys, right? All the ones we're saying are shoo-ins to get top 8, the ones that are 4-0.
كان قدام كريس اللي هو اللي بيلعب في نيويورك سيتي.
Tex might have some strengths, Desari might have some strengths, but they don't have weaknesses.
I think that's the point.
Yeah, he can rely on his defense. That's the thing. He's not has to be your best attribute, but you have to be able to.
لا هيلعب تاني، والنهارده كل الناس هتلعب 7 مباريات، هو كده مساعد لعب 4، فاضل له 3 كمان. هيعرضوا منهم بقى كام واحد ما اعرفش.
We talk about, yes, Tex is a great attacker. A lot of the time we say Desari's fantastic going forward. We say Nicholas is really solid at the back. But these are the outstanding attributes to their game. Yeah. These are the ones that we're watching in awe when we're watching them or we're commentating, whatever we're doing. Everything else is so solid. Like you say, there's no flaws in their game. There's no gaping issue in their all-round game. It's just those things that we say are exemplary in comparison to even the best in the world.
What I like about Marcuzo, though, he has this identity because... Oh, look at that for an effort. You can't say that this La Croqueta, a lot of people use it. No one seems to use it as much as he uses it, though. So it's not an element of, oh, this is the new El Tornado cross that's definitely going to work. People like Tex are choosing not to do it as much. Marcuzo, for whatever reason, really likes it. He's obviously very proficient at it. So you know it's like a little trait of his. You know it's going to come out to play. And I like players that have their own unique identity.
It's the same as Tex's triple elastico. You know, started seeing a few more players do that, but you know, he brought that to the party initially and was like, hey, look, this works, this looks cool, this is going to surprise people, and it did. You take yourself back to Atlanta, and I mean, it is that identity, like you say. And even, to be honest with you, Tex using the accelerated fake shot down the line, I think he was the one who really started to hone in on that when he was getting Mbappe down the line and just driving inside. And those little traits and those little things they're also things that other people pick up on pretty quickly and try and add to their game.
كمان كسب 4
It's more difficult to do it better than someone who was doing it in the original.
And also to defend that.
بص هو في 4 بس هم اللي كسبوا 4 مايسترو ومساعد ونيكولاس وتيجز دول ال4 الوحيدين اللي كسبوا 4 مباريات. الباقيين بقى ايه اللي كسب 3 من 4 واللي كسب 2 من 4 واللي كسب 1 وفي اللي ما كسبش حاجة.
So like it's so obvious what he's going to do. He starts on the right, he's going to come in his left, he's going to curl it top corner. And you're like, I used to think when I was younger, I know, I just show him on his right foot.
It's funny, I see commentators talk like that now, like actual ex-professional football. Just show him down the line. No, there's a reason why you can't show him down the line, because he'll just cut you inside.
It's the change of pace. Like, you don't know when he's going to do it. You know he's going to do it, but when?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the same with La Croqueta. He's going to put it out. Here it comes.
Oh, it's a ball roll.
He's mixed it up.
Maybe missed the L1 button.
Yeah, this is the second leg, everyone, of a 4th round matchup between Yasser and Marcuzo. Marcuzo's up 3-0. He's in the white.
It's an elimination match as well. Whoever loses this game is out. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it's a 1 and 2. That's correct. It'll be 1 and 3. So if you lose this game, you're not out, but you're not looking good.
Yeah, you're not looking good.
Yeah,
it doesn't bode well for you.
Marcuzo, some would say surprised to be in a 1 and 2 situation. Many people tipping him. You know what I really think is interesting about Marcuzo's
ياسر كسب مباراة واحدة بس.
They're really good friends. They're
هو المفروض بقى يعني فاضل 3 مباريات يبقى هو لازم يكسب ال3 عشان يتأهل. ما كسبش واحدة منهم ما كسبهاش خلاص.
do himself justice at the events, but still there. Then kind of fell off a cliff a little bit form-wise. Didn't really see him at much. And much stuff, and then Marcuzo suddenly came out of nowhere. He had a really bad start. Marcuzo got really good, and I feel like they're learning from each other. Because now you're seeing Aga come back, which is interesting timing, perfect timing, because he's got enough points for playoffs. He'll be there. But we saw him in a qualifier recently take on some really big names and beat them. I think he beat the Stranger, beat Dr. Ahano. So the secrets those two can share in training clearly rub off on each other.
Looking forward to Marcuzo and him matching up at playoffs. That'll be an interesting one. Obviously, they know each other incredibly well. But look at the 2 play styles here. I'm watching Yasser play, and seems to be looking for a lot of the meta plays at the moment. We're seeing a lot of back post crosses. We're seeing a lot of sort of flick up first-time shots in and around the edge of the box. And I feel now that meta is kind of almost a little bit stale. I think people have worked out how to defend that kind of play. We are seeing, you know, the back post crosses, of course, are still effective, don't get me wrong. But things like the first-time shots on the edge of the box, we are seeing people close down that space a little bit quicker. We see them recognising those situations. I feel like maybe he feels a little bit sort of an event or 2 behind where some of the top players are at the moment.
Well, it's like a seesaw, isn't it? It went weighted down in one direction of this back post cross, then the community reacts. The reaction was Hullit at left back. The reaction was Van Dijk coming into people's teams who wasn't in there before. And yeah, still effective, but you're seeing Yasser try it and not pull it off. If every cross he got in was being met by someone at the back post and going in, then you'd be like, what can you do? But it's about the timing of it. He's not choosing the right moment. It's got to be a goal here, surely. No. There you go. That's big for Marcuzo. 4-0 up now.
FIFA rage goal with that.
But you know what I mean? You see Marcuzo score lots of different goals, whereas Yasser's trying one thing and it's not working, and then where does he go from there?
Yeah, I think that's the good point. You can almost get caught up in this mindset of, oh, this is what works, this is what guarantees me a goal. And when it doesn't, you kind of like, oh, I thought this was what I had. I mean,
it's like sorry ball.
But that's what they did probably to qualify for this event.
The thing.
And that's like, it's hard to just click
switch
out of that.
I mean,
that's the difference of your opponent, though. You get away with it online, come to a LAN event, you come to eChampions League.
Oh, yeah, because not everyone's got Hullit at left back, so that obviously works and stuff like that. So
it's not just that, it's timing as well, though. Yeah. Because it's easy to go, oh, yeah, he's El Tornado crossed it, or he's crossed it in, but you have to pick the right moment to do it. You have to do the right position as well, and you've got to obviously be swinging it into the right guy in the middle.
Yeah, but there's less factors you have to cater for when the quality of actual player you're using isn't there.
Yeah, for sure. So Yasser right now finds himself in a pretty bad position, 4-0 down on aggregate. 35 minutes or so to get back in at FIFA time.
Oh, here goes Ronaldinho.
This is what Marcuzo does.
It's nice to do that when you're up 4 goals. Bring out the tricks.
It's always lovely. It's lovely to play any game when you're up by 4 goals.
Maldini getting forward here. He's continuing his run. Go on, Maldini. Ronaldo.
Still there.
Get him a touch. Get him a touch.
Oh.
There's nothing I enjoy more than watching R9 Ronaldo run, do a step over past someone. It just reminds me of growing up.
That little burst of acceleration he used to have. Oh.
A little flash of his teeth and stuff like that.
Everyone's got the skill moves, but certain players, it just looks better when they do them, and he's one of them. There you go. He's trying it again there, Yasser. He's been closed down fairly easily.
And again, we talk about the development of metagame in FIFA 19, and the El Tornado cross was one of those things that everyone was like, oh, how do I stop it? But then you saw, because it is quite a long animation as a skill move, people stepping inside when they saw it go, and then they were getting more and more blocks on those crosses. Not saying every single one was going to be blocked, but then people were like, okay, I still know that the flat cross into the ball, into the box, when I have the chances, we watch Marcuzo create another chance. Just wide.
Close to an amazing goal.
Back to my point, you saw them, okay, I still want to get those crosses into the box, having got the ball up in the air. How do I now counter that? So people would check back and use the little flick up to get the ball into the box, and that adds another dimension that you have to defend against. So you are constantly seeing this game develop, and then you add patches in like that, and that's why these guys are the best in the world. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, you know, a lot of players, they're just going down the line, they're just crossing it in. They're not. They're always looking for the most opportune way to score a goal, and that is what a pro player does, looks for the most effective ways to win games of FIFA 19.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because it's like accelerated traditional football where you see generations have certain formations and whatnot that work, and then over a period of, like, it used to be the 4-4-2, and then it became the 4-2-3-1. Now we're seeing a bit more of maybe a 4-3-3 or sometimes a 5 at the back.
4-4-2 coming back in a lot.
So it's like, it happens, but it happens in a period of months in FIFA as opposed to years in football. The new meta, I don't know if you saw the game Mike and I casted earlier, the new meta is the Modric meta. You just get Luka Modric on at half-time, he does the rest for you, mate. Some of the performances he was putting in, unbelievable.
Insert Modric here, instant win.
Game changer.
But even now, like, I'm looking at players as well that people are using. I feel like there's still conversations being had between pros about what players to play in what positions, and it's surprising to see that. You know, we had all of the prime icon moments brought in. We saw back in London at the FUT Champions Cup, Dasari deciding to start Eusebio up top. Yeah. And then how many players have we seen doing that this event? They've looked at the success Dasari had, and it's little things like that. Lala, we've seen it at right back. We see Alexandro with his new inform. Back in at left back, it's always fascinating to see that evolution.
That's another Nicholas thing, though, the Alexandro thing.
Well, he hasn't left his team, I don't think, Alexandro.
Yeah, Nicholas is almost in his own little world with his team. It works for him, so fair play to him. But what I really like is when a person, and we saw this. Can we do it? Can we do it?
Oh, yeah, please.
Oh, no,
please.
no, please. I mean, it's a penalty, but we all wanted that to be finished off.
Pedro Vieira's not having a good day at the office today. He's been subbed off left, right and centre for Luka Modric. What I particularly like is when we see people not just have their personnel they like, but when they look at who they're playing and go, you know, this game, Rudolph's going left back because I know he loves the cross. There you go. This is a rout. It's an absolute rout.
That's a tasty
good penalty, yeah. Firm.
But yeah, I like it if someone goes, okay, I'm playing against this guy, he loves the cross, Rudolph will go left back for me this game, I'll throw Marcelo in centre mid, and then next game, okay, I'm coming up against Marcuzo, for example, he's less of a crosser, more of a down the middle.
You're not just seeing it from the start as well, you're seeing all of these players now being put onto the bench. A lot of the time, previously, you'd see sort of 3 or 4 subs players would have, but now you're seeing defensive options on the bench to deal with those different types of player. Play the first 15 minutes, okay, he's gone down the line, El Tornado into the box, bang. Van Dijk comes on the pitch, Hullet gets moved to left back. It's all those little things that you are seeing players add to their game to try and negate what is costing them games or winning the games. I think it's fascinating to watch.
Here we go, Neymar, surely not another one, checks back. Oh, he's rushed that one. I think that's surely what makes a good, diverse, you know, wide-ranging game, is if you've got players with different personalities and strategies, and then opposing players having to change their game to counteract it. Yeah. That is, it's never going to be able to replicate traditional football exactly, because you can't play 90-minute games. Yeah. And you know, you haven't got 11 actual different people controlling it. I mean, there's obviously other game modes, but in this it's 1v1. And so, rather than trying to replicate exactly what happens, you have to try and have the same kind of connotations. And one of those things is tactical. Yeah. Can you have an identity in your team, and can that actually be shown in the game? And I think we're seeing that.
Marcuzo's looking pretty good in this one. 5 to the good at the moment. Almost made it 6. Van Dijk had to make that interception, but this is a kind of... I feel like Marcuzo's one of those players as well. If he has a big performance like this, he really can start getting on a roll as well. We've seen it a few times. He can start off a little bit slowly. His head goes down, and before you know it, it's 2. But as you say, Yasser's 2 on goal here.
That's brilliant. That's nice.
Yeah,
Van Dijk dove in early, missed the opportunity. It was easy from that point on.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen Luka Modric introduced. This is the game changer.
Spencer Owen
خمسة
substitution.
خارج.
Do it. Flashing.
ياسر 5.
Through the keeper's legs. But it's too little too late, surely, for Yasser. Got a lot of work to do if he's not going to go 1 and 3 here.
And of course, if he's 1 and 3, then he's, again, staring down the barrel of elimination from the eChampions League. And
But when Marcuzo might have the upper hand in these games is because obviously these players have lost more than they've won. So obviously the defensive side of their game is not up to scratch where Marcuzo's attacking side of his game is.
True.
So obviously that's where he may have the upper hand going forward.
I think it's a great point. You know, maybe this game is highlighting the strengths of Marcuzo and not exposing his weaknesses as a player.
As the games get closer and he gets to 2 and 2 and it's 3 and 2 and kind of thing like that, then maybe he's going to face better opponents that are attacking.
Next game will be very important for Marcuzo. Assuming he's going to win this one and go 3 and 1, can he go 4 and 1 and secure his place?
Yeah.
Or is he going to make himself go back to the wall once again?
This run from Ronaldinho, striding away down this
what I
right-hand side.
Ronaldinho running at someone. Oh. I want to see more than that. I want to see more than a drag back.
I love the animation in the Elastico in this game as well. It's so like difficult to defend because it's so quick. He changed direction so quickly as well. And he gets it done. Marcuzo still alive. Big result coming in from him.
Yeah, you have to say fair play, you know, because what I like about Marcuzo is he doesn't score the same goals everyone else scores. You know, he plays it his own way. Yeah, we've got a lot of cricketers in there, but he scores some other